Hi, I'm Amy, and the Bowling Proprietors Association of America welcomes you to our in-school bowling video workshop training. I think that you're going to find today's methods very simple and effective. We use the backward linking method to ensure success with all of our students. And you'll also find that there are many cue words or phrases to describe the techniques and skills being used. It's fun for everybody. So let's sit back and learn how to bowl. Before we get started, we've got to talk about safety. There are a couple of important things to go over before anyone learns how to bowl. The first thing is that everyone must remain on their feet at all times. In case a ball or a pin ricochets, this would prevent injury. The next thing is the foul line. Everyone must respect the foul line, even in class, because when the students move into a bowling center, the lanes tend to be oiled past the foul line, and students could slip. So everyone needs to learn now, do not cross the foul line. And finally, the nylon bags. Make sure that you store them on a table or in another area of the room, because they are slick, and if you step on one on the floor, you may slip and fall. The first lesson we're going to cover is the free pendulum swing. What you'll do is you'll ask your students to raise their bowling arm. And then along the same side as their bowling arm, there's a leg. And at the end of that leg, there's a foot. Pick up that foot and move it back. Now release your bowling arm and make sure that it's relaxed. Lean forward. Take your non-bowling hand, place it on your bowling wrist, and push, relax, push, relax. Push, relax. You just want to make sure that it's loose and let it swing back. So push, relax, push, relax. Push. Let's see what this looks like with our class. Okay, bowlers, raise your bowling hand, okay? Now on that same side as your bowling hand is a leg, and at the end of the leg there is a foot. Pick up that foot, the same one that's on your bowling hand, okay? Take a step back, all right? Lean forward. Now relax your hand. Take your non-bowling hand, okay? Put it on your wrist. Push, relax. Push, relax. Push, relax. Push, relax. Okay? You'll notice throughout our program that we tend to stay away from saying the right hand or the left hand. We like to use phrases like the bowling hand, the bowling arm, or the non-bowling hand. This way, this generic use of language helps the teacher not have to teach the techniques just to the right-handed children or then repeat them for the left-handed children. The next thing we're going to cover is how to hold the ball. You take your bowling hand, take the middle two bowling fingers, and squeeze them against the thumb. So what I like to do is ask the kids, what does this look like? Maybe a bunny rabbit, for a shadow puppet? Or if you lived in Hawaii, maybe this is hang loose, or here in Texas, hook 'em horns. This is a great way to engage the kids and show them how to hold the ball. Here we have one of our lightweight rubber bowling balls from the program. We take our bowling hand, middle two fingers, and the thumb, place them in the holes, like so, and we're ready to go. The next thing we're going to talk about is the release, and you're going to need a couple of items to teach this step. The first thing you'll need is a clock, and you can find a copy of this in your manual. If you look closely, you'll notice that the 4 and the 5 o'clock positions are highlighted. That would be the place that right-handed bowlers would place their fingers. You'll also notice that the 7 and the 8 o'clock are highlighted as well for the left-handed bowlers. The next thing you'll need to do is divide your class into teams of 2. Now you'll line up the children facing each other in 2 parallel lines. You can look at the manual to get a better description, but you'll need a softball for each pair of children. And now I'm going to show you how it's done. I've got my softball. I'm going to place it in the middle of the clock. I'm going to put my 2 fingers on the spaces that are right for me. I'm going to pick up the ball and we're going to release it on the second swing. So throw it to my partner, release to my partner. Now it will come back to me. Let's try that again. Ball in the center of the circle, fingers in the right position, release on the second swing. Great. One more time. And this time we want to make sure that when we release the ball that there's a smooth landing, like an airplane coming down, gliding in on the landing strip. No bouncing. Ball in the middle of the circle, fingers, whoop, and there we go. Now we're going to talk about the follow-through on the release. One of the fun ways to teach this is to ask your class, what do they do if they get a phone call from their boyfriend or their girlfriend? Well, they answer it. This is the follow-through. It's a great cue word or a cue phrase that helps reinforce the learning, and it helps them teach each other as well. Here we go. So we place the ball in the center, pick it up, 1. And we're following through. It's a local phone call. It's not a long distance phone call. See, we do not want our arms extended. We want to keep it close here to the body and to the face. Okay, so guys, what we're going to work on next is our follow through, okay? I have a question for you, Ashton. What happens when your boyfriend calls you on the phone? I answer it. You answer it, okay, yeah. And so, Jalen, what happens? You know, when one of the girls calls, what do? Answer it. You answer it. How about you, Ricky? Answer it. And you, Miss Reagan? Answer it. Answer the phone, right? So you bring your arm up to your face like this, okay? Well, this is a follow through. So what we're going to do is pick up your ball, and we're going to swing, but after you swing, when you release, you want to follow through, okay? And now, this is not a long distance call, so we don't want to extend our arm like this. We want to answer it, okay? Should we give it a shot? Let's try it, okay? Here we go. 1, 2, answer it. And 1, 2, release and answer it. 1, 2, release and answer it. No long distance calls here. Good job. In this section, the students near the wall go and get a pin, bring it back and put it on top of their clocks. The partner will receive 5 deliveries trying to hit the pin. When the 5 deliveries have been completed, the students switch positions and the partner receives his or her 5 deliveries. Well, here we reinforce the pendulum swing, the release, and the follow-through. Please refer to your manual to see an exact diagram. Here's something really important to remember. After the first 3 deliveries, be sure and stop your class and let them know that if they aren't having much success with a ball that's this size, they'll really knock them down with something that's this big. This helps keep the spirits up in the class and prevents kids from getting discouraged or feeling down. We want them to be enthusiastic about the sport and continue practicing. In this next section, we're going to talk about balance. And when I talk about balance, I like to refer back to a really great movie, The Karate Kid. And in this movie, there was a character named Daniel that wanted to be a master of karate. But before he could become a master of karate, he had to be a master of balance. And in order to master balance, he would raise his arms and raise one leg, and he would go into and you pause here, and your class will surely jump in and say, the crane position. Right. Well, bowlers also have to master balance. And in order to master balance, they place their foot into the stagger position. Remember, we have our bowling hand up in the air, our leg, our foot back. We lean forward, And now we're going to raise both arms out, and we're going to slowly lift one foot off the ground. And now ask your students, how long can they balance like this? It's a test. It's also a great way to keep them under control. Now tap your foot backwards, okay? You're going to drop your arm and just let it swing, the free pendulum swing. How's your balance? In this next step, you'll need to divide your class into teams of 5. You put them on the lanes and you show them their responsibilities. We have the first child as the bowler, and this person gets 2 opportunities to deliver the ball down the lane. Next, we have the spotter. The spotter helps make sure that the bowler stays behind the foul line, also watches the bowler's technique, and also helps keep score if we're keeping score. The third person is the scorekeeper. Next, we have the pin setter who resets the pins after each delivery. And then finally, we have the ball returner who returns the ball back to the bowler. Now, if the ball returner is not accurate in their delivery of returning the ball, you may ask the ball returner to walk the ball down to the bowler. Once the bowler has 2 deliveries, the entire team rotates one position in a clockwise fashion. Great, and now we're ready for Balance Plus. These are our first steps towards a full approach, and we're going to start with just one step. So you're into the balance position, and back and bowl. Let's try it again. Into our balance position, back and bowl. Great. Now what I like to do to let the kids become a little more comfortable with getting that arm out and that foot up is refer back to another really great movie, Toy Story. And there are 2 characters in that movie. The first one is the one that's run by batteries, and I'm sure your class will say, oh yeah, Buzz Lightyear. But then there's another character that when you pull a string in his back, he talks. He's a cowboy, and they'll all, of course, say Woody. What I want them to do is imagine that they're pulling a string out of their leg, and as they pull the string out, their heel comes off the floor. But what's really fun about this is to make a sound effect with it. Watch. Zip, zip, and have your class make the noise. It's a great way to have a little fun, lighten things up, and 2, tell them there's no magic unless there's the noise. Watch, check it out with our kids. What we're going to do is get into our position. Zip, back and bowl. Now we're ready to talk about our 4-step approach, and there are 2 parts. There's the arm swing and the steps. First, we're going to concentrate on the arm swing. What you need to do is ask your students to get into the stagger position first. Then you're going to out, down, swing, and relax. Okay? So out, down, swing, and relax. Now we don't want any robo bowlers, no robot, jerky, slow kinds of motions. We want it to all flow as one continual motion. So out, down, swing, and relax. Out, down, swing, and relax. You can practice this over and over again with your students and fall into a rhythm or a pattern. Out, down, swing and relax. Out, down, swing and relax. It's time for a 4-step delivery, and there are 4 steps involved. We've got the arm motion down, the arm swing. Now it's time to focus on our feet. So the first thing you need to do is have your class get into the stagger position, place their hands on their hips. Now in the 4-step delivery, there are 4 steps. Short, 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 bowl. So once you're in the position, hands on your hips, the stagger position, bend your knees, make sure you're nice and loose there. Raise the heel of your back foot and ready, begin. Short, 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 bowl. Short, 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 bowl. Okay, bowlers, are you ready? We're going to move to our stagger position. So take your foot forward, okay? Bend your knees slightly. Place your hands on your hips. Lean forward. Now we're going to take 4 steps. Short, 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 bowl. Okay, can you say it with me? Short, 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 bowl. Now we're going to move forward with the foot that's back behind, okay? You ready? Begin. Short, 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 bowl. Short, 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 bowl. Short, 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 bowl. It's time to put it all together now. Here's everything you need for the 4-step delivery. The first thing you've got to keep in mind is to make sure you start at least 6 inches away from the foul line. Then you take 4 steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit more away from the line. Now this and a little bit more is to add for an extra slide, which your students will experience once they reach a bowling center. But for here in the gymnasium, we're just going to use an extra step. We don't have the special shoes or the wooden floor to accommodate that slide. So here we go.
Come on, kids. The first thing we'll do is get your shoes. We'll go over to the counter, they have your names and sizes, and she'll take care of you.
What's your name?
I'm Kelly.
Kelly, these are for you.
Alex.
Alex, these are for you.
Rebecca.
And Rebecca, those are yours. Now, kids, I'm going to give you a scoring sheet. At the top are 2 numbers. These are the 2 lanes where you will take turns bowling. So, good luck, everybody.
Always remember, this is the first place you come when you come to the bowling center to get your lane assignments, your shoes, and your score sheet. Okay? Let's go.
Coach, why do we need special shoes?
Because they're clean, which protects the lane, and because they slide, which helps you roll the ball. Now, we'll need something else before we get started.
Bowling balls!
Right. Let's go pick some out.
I want the green one. I want the blue one.
Wait a second, everyone. I know the colors look really cool, but there's more to picking out the right ball than just color. Did everyone notice that the balls are different weights? Why do you think that is?
If you're stronger, you take a heavier ball?
Well, you have the right idea, but it actually has more to do with your weight. Do each of you know how much you weigh?
Yes.
Well, the ball should weigh 10% of your weight. So if you weigh 70 pounds, you need a number 7 ball. If you weigh 80 pounds, you need a number 8 ball. And if you weigh 90 pounds, you need a
Number 9 ball.
Okay. Can everyone find the ball that's the right weight?
I have an 8, and it's pink. I have the same one. I've got a number 6, and it's blue.
That's great. Now I want each of you to take your ball like this and place your thumb in the thumb hole. Do they all fit?
Yeah.
Your thumb should touch the inside of the thumb hole, but not be too tight.
My thumb's too tight.
Okay, let's see. You've got a number 8. Let's find another number 8 that fits better.
Here's one.
Great. Now each of you stretch your fingers across the top of the ball with your thumb in the thumb hole. Your second knuckle should be sitting in the middle of the finger hole. Let's take a look at everyone. Great. Now place your fingers inside of the holes and they should fit just like the thumb. Does it fit like the thumb?
Yeah, perfect.
Super. Now we're ready to head to the lanes. But first, a message from our sponsor, the Bowling Center.
As you walk through the center behind the lanes, remember not to yell, shout, or behave in any manner that might be distracting to those people that are already bowling on the lanes.
Okay, everyone put your ball in the ball return. Great. This area, by the way, has a name. It's called the settee. Can everybody say settee?
Settee.
Excellent. Now, another brief message from our sponsor. The one thing to remember about the settee is that you should never bring food or drink of any kind into this area. Why?
Because it could spill.
Right, and that would make a real mess. You start your turn by moving into this area, which is our next new word for the day. It's called approach.
Approach.
Right, approach. You approach the lane with your ball, and you start your turn by finding the correct set of locator dots.
Locator dots.
Yes, locator dots. You also have another set of dots up the lane to help you aim at the pins. One more thing. When you're about to roll your ball, look to see if the person next to you is about to go too. If the bowler on your right is taking a turn at the same time, then let that person go first. Now you're ready to roll. Ahead are the foul line, target arrows, and pins. You release the ball at the foul line, but don't let your foot go past that point. The ball rolls over the target arrows toward the pins. It will cross over the pines. It will strike the pins near the front of the pin triangle. Then... Strike! And that's a word I hope you get to use a lot of. Okay, so we've got the approach, locator dots, foul line, target arrows, pines, and pins. There's actually another part of the lane. Well, two parts.
Oh yeah, those are the,
Channels. They're called channels. And with some practice, your ball will hardly ever take that route to the ball return. Now, let's bowl.
Thanks for watching this program. I hope it was helpful in bringing to life this in-school bowling program for your PE class. If you have any questions about bowling or want some more information about the Bowling Proprietors Association of America, please call this number.